and all that good stuff. Oh, here we go.
We're here.
We are, in fact, here. So have the comment section pulled up. So we'll see who pops in for us.
Live and in action.
We are, in fact, live and in action. I'm excited. I'm going to see.
Watch no one come in.
I mean, if no one comes in, it'll be in their podcast app of their choice in the morning. So either way it goes, they will be getting their fixture of the dunker spot.
I forgot how to do all this. We'll have to keep up with.
A little hectic, but you know.
You got big New Year's plans going to Atlanta?
I am not going to Atlanta for New Year's. I don't know when the next time we're going to Atlanta, honestly. Omarion is outside, so we'll see.
Yeah, Omarion in his icebox, boy. What a terrible basketball slate today, by the way.
We got a 3-game slate, and the one good. I'm not gonna say the one good game, but like, I was excited for Nuggets Warriors.
Yeah, that was postponed. Draymond was happy about that. We could talk about that if you want to.
Yes. Like, I do want to talk about the replacement player thing because, like, it doesn't make sense. All right, we got some comments. Got sup, guys. Got what's up, yo. What's up, dunkers? Talk about Celtics, please. Our role players are not giving us anything.
Do we have any more new Celtics content? I feel like we have hit every note in the Celtics song right now.
So have the Celtics, which I feel like is the problem.
They're a flawed team. What's up, dunkers? Thanks for embracing your bounce, by the way. I don't even know how this intro works anymore.
There we go.
Do 3 episodes.
I can do the traditional intro, I guess.
Oh, never mind. I'll save it.
No, it's it's fine. We got some people in, so gonna give one little boost.
People are waiting for Mr. ABO to come back.
Oh, brother. I can't believe you made this a thing. I can believe it. Let me not lie. But
I think it's my favorite thing, to be honest with you. Like you said, yo, I want to go to LA, and you got ABO comments, and that made me proud.
Yeah, the brand is growing. It's honestly incredible.
Also, I don't know how to feel about me and Perk having the same exact starting lineup for the All-Stars. No.
That's pretty interesting.
It's not a yet. I don't have the agenda like you have the agenda.
I mean, you set the agenda, and now look at what's happening. The agenda is agending on your behalf. So it's just funny how that works.
Well, I don't have a beard.
You shaved it though. That's different.
Baby face. Come on.
Don't give me that.
Yeah, let's get this Davion Mitchell take you had.
We can get into it. It's fine. Let's get the housekeeping out the way, I suppose. Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Dunker Spot. We are part of the Basketball News Podcast Network. I'm your host, Nikias Duncan. Join me as always is my co-host Steve Jones Jr. How are you, sir?
Doing well, doing great. Thank you, Dunkers, for embracing your bounce with us. Happy to be here. Last one of 2021. Let's have some 2020 fun.
Oh, brother.
Come on, man.
I mean, sure.
Come on, man. Come on. It's been a year, but hopefully we can all appreciate our blessings, do our best to move forward, and bring some sunshine into each other's lives.
That's the hope. That's the hope. Do we want to segue into Rondo Cavs talk because we're talking about bringing sunshine to lives, or is that too ironic?
No, let's go for it.
Okay, so who was it? Shams that reported that a trade is close between the Cavs and the Lakers for Rajon Rondo. The Cavs famously are now without Darius Garland and Ricky Rubio right now. Ricky Rubio is out for the year with the torn ACL. He was having a fantastic season coming off the bench for Cleveland. a tough blow indeed. Like, in theory, I understand why you bring Rajon Rondo in to replicate some of the playmaking that Ricky Rubio provides. But it does seem like a fit within literally every other context. It's odd to me. Where are you at on Rondo to Cleveland?
I like the idea on paper. First off, bummer for Ricky Rubio, man. He was having such a great year. I love seeing him play aggressive. I love the way they were using him. Just multiple guard lineups to complement those bigs. He was running off staggers, and it was working consistently. It was just fun to watch him kind of blossom and consistently be aggressive like that. The Rondo fit to Cleveland makes sense on paper in that they need a point guard of a certain caliber to try and make this work. Sorry, Jaden. But I am concerned about the fit, mainly not because I'd have doubts with Rondo. I have doubts with Rondo in certain places. So if we recall, Rondo went to Atlanta, and this was kind of a similar move in this sense. Like, hey, we got a young team. We're moving in the right direction. Let's add Rondo. It didn't really work. And so I'm concerned the same issue would happen here. And they have such like a weird vibe, a weird fit. I don't know how the mix works, with how JB has this team playing and Rondo is Rondo and will always be Rondo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I mean, it's going to be a low cost deal for both sides either way. A little surprising the Lakers are trying to end that pretty quickly since they brought him back.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron is sick of everyone.
Which, understandably so. Not sure if that's the point. Can I make that joke? Rondo might not be the point guard he actually wants to get rid of?
I guess you can make it, but you can't get rid of redacted. So,
fair enough. But yeah, I don't love it. Like, one, he's just not as good as Ricky Rubio. So, like, it's not going to be the same thing. Again, like, the court vision is going to be there. Like, I'm curious to see what the pick and rolls are going to look like with him and, like, Evan Mobley with some of the second units, or just him and the bigs, period. Because the sneaky thing with Rondo, like, the rim pressure hasn't been the same over the last year and a half. And that's kind of the only thing that was really saving him as a playmaker, because the court vision doesn't go anywhere. We know what the jumper is, at least off the dribble. And so what saves is that he could still get to the rim some and force some rotations. And with the guys that he was playing with, like particularly in LA with the title team, like he was able to find reads from there. So if he can't get to the rim in Cleveland, and they're not a great shooting team to begin with, I'm just worried that offense is kind of going to grind to a halt. And I don't think they need that. As strong as the defense is, they're going to need something. Like, they already don't have the scoring from Sexton. They don't have the scoring from Garland right now. And so it's going to be very front court heavy. Like, Ricky Rubio isn't a scorer, but he's given them some random scoring outbursts this season. And I feel like it's going to be a pretty tall task to ask Rondo to replicate some of that. If I'm wrong, I'll eat that, but I can't say that I see it right now.
So it's getting a Ron no from you right now. Good shot. You got to get it up early in the clock. The flip side is he can operate in pick and roll, so he could develop some chemistry with Jared Allen. And they also started Kevin Pangos, who I love, but they really don't have like a lot of point guard depth there now. So you hope Garland takes another leap. You hope Rondo can be a little bit of a bridge. And I mean, you got to get a body. You got to get somebody. So hopefully you get a veteran presence, can add to it and work forward. I do wonder how this impacts Kevin Love.
Ooh.
He and Ricky Rubio have been having a great chemistry. And he has been a surprise for me, looking like Kevin Love again. So I'm interested to see if he keeps this up.
We do have a listener question. What's an option for Cleveland at this point? DeLon Wright. How do we feel about DeLon Wright in Cleveland? I feel like they'd be better than Rondo, but I also feel like the bar is kind of the floor there for me.
Nah, I think it costs less to get Rondo. So you might as well just get Rondo. That's where I get it for Cleveland's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a minimum deal. It's not going to take much for us to get him. So let's hope it works out, as opposed to losing a piece that you like.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm kind of like, I get what you need to do right now, but I hope it works.
For everyone involved. I mean, Cleveland's been such a fun story this season. I hate to say story, that sounds kind of like minimized, but like they've been a really good team. Like they've been not just one of the best teams in the East, they've been one of the best teams in the league. Based on that defense, you got the girl from Darius Garland making a real all-star push. Evan, got to throw it in there. But like Evan Mobley's been a revelation. Jared Allen has also been all-star good. Kevin Love resurgent. Rubio resurgence before he got hurt. I don't want it to all come crumbling down because of COVID/injuries like that. It just doesn't feel right.
No, I'd like to see them actually get a run, like actually see where this goes. I never like when a young team finds something and then they go backwards. So now you really don't know what you got. Also, shout out to Provolone for asking where's Jose Calderon at. if all these comebacks don't result in Jose Calderon running pick and roll or shooting a pull-up three, I will personally be upset.
I feel you. Well, we were getting all of the point guards from like the mid-late 2000s coming back in, so I respect it. I'd be down for Jose Calderon to come back. Speaking of comebacks, why are you already shaking your head?
I was just laughing at the Kirk Heinrich reference. But go ahead and
I'll let you have that one. But Mario Chalmers is back. Not only is Mario Chalmers back, Mario Chalmers is back in a Heat uniform. Are you prepared for me to watch a Miami Heat team with Mario Chalmers and Casey Okpala on it?
Yes. Are you prepared for my reaction to it?
Probably not, but I am going to ride the wave as long as there is a wave to ride. This brought me back to my childhood, honestly. Like it's cool. I have no idea how good he's actually going to be. I don't know what the movement skills are like at this point. I'm not sure what he's going to look at the point of attack. All I need him to do is knock down open threes. And I will tweet like this is the title team version of Mario Chalmers. Full disclosure. That's a good shot. Darius Laurels. Oh no.
That's a good shot. No, it's fun. I like guys getting run back. Like it's just odd for them to come back and immediately look like themselves. Like Greg Monroe, we haven't seen him in years.
Yeah.
And he immediately just looks like Greg Monroe. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Joe Johnson looked just like Joe Johnson. And now Mario Chalmers is back with Miami. It's a fun run. And no one's getting Iman Shumpert out of his Dancing with the Stars career. That man won a ring and it's over.
Iman Shumpert is hitting I feel like every other week I'm seeing him on a radio show somewhere saying something about those old Cavs teams and how nobody can, which honestly I respect the energy. I really do.
Do you though?
Like it's kind of funny.
Oh, that's a good point. Mario Chalmers on defense. How do you feel about it, Nikias?
I'm not expecting, top of the steals chart Mario Chalmers at this stage of his career. He's probably going to be a downgrade from what Miami's gotten from Gabe Vincent this year, what they've got from Kyle Lowry. So probably the worst point of attack defender in the group. But honestly, as long as he isn't awful, I'm probably fine with it. Like that's the bar for me. Just don't be awful.
That's fair. That's
fun the guys inside,
That's fun. I was more excited about the Kyle Guy signing for Miami.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
That seems like exactly like a match made in heaven. Because Kyle Guy's been running through summer league with a chip on his shoulder for like 3 years in a row, And if there's ever a team to bring that to, it's going to be Spell in Miami. So can't wait to see what it looks like. Side note, how mad is Jamal Crawford right now? That comment made me want to ask this question. Is he chilling or is he upset?
I lean towards like he gives me I'm not mad, I'm laughing energy. So like probably comes off like it's fine. Like he's doing the broadcast with Quentin Richardson and stuff, which honestly they're really good. But like he's doing that, but also as many people will point out, graciously so, he did drop 50 in his last game. And so how do I want to phrase this? Like people are going to clamor for him. And so like, I'm surprised that there hasn't been more to that. And that concludes my answer.
Well, I mean, here's the question, though. That's kind of like the best way to go out.
Yeah. One would think, but I don't know. Like when it comes to like Jamal Crawford, Isaiah Thomas, the scores of those ilk, like it always ends up becoming less about them and more about what their inclusion or exclusion, quote unquote, represents. And I'm just tired of that conversation. And so that's where I just kind of bow out beyond, hey, he's on the roster or he's not on the roster. Like I just don't know. Oh, here's a fun one. Jamal Crawford or Alonzo Trier?
Jamal Crawford. Sorry, Alonzo.
Okay. Go ahead.
I feel like Quentin Grimes is everything Alonzo Trier was supposed to be.
Well, the Knicks got a good one. Well, we got a question in. Will Redacted be given another shot with a 10-day? Assuming Redacted is Isaiah Thomas, like he did sign with Dallas, and then immediately went into COVID protocols. So, best of luck to him. Also, don't know what that means for. I'm not sure what that means for the 10-day in particular. So I don't know.
The man can't catch a break. Let this man cook.
Yeah, like I guess while we're here, like, how did you feel about the Lakers stint?
I liked it. Confidence was there. He's looking to take shots. He's making the right plays. There was an activity defensively. He looked more like himself. So I liked that part, and at least him getting to come back and feeling like himself again and playing like himself again, a version of himself. I thought that was the fun part. So you like to see that grow. So hopefully you can find a place and stick and lane.
And that place is going to be Point Guard University in Dallas, I suppose, which they cannot stay away from small guards. Like it's kind of the MO.
You know Jayson Kidd. You know what he's about. So I know Jalen Brunson. Ooh, buddy.
Shout out Jalen Brunson, who's averaging like 20 and 7 since Luka's been out.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
I didn't think you would mention his name today.
What does that mean?
I'm disappointed in Dallas as a whole. You said Luka wasn't an all-star and no one said a word.
I mean, he has to be on the court. It also like he hasn't played up to his standard. Like don't blame me. Tell him to get to the rim. Like I don't know what you want me to do with that. Luka's gonna be fine. Like it is going to be A-okay.
Oh, speaking of A-okay, Joel Embiid and KD really like each other, man.
Oh, you appreciated the post-game trolling?
Yes, I appreciated all of it. It was great. The best exchange of a 3-word sentence that I've ever seen. It's very nice and kind. Joel Embiid pointing for the Nets to get off the court while KD smiles in a way that says, I'm going to try and drop 60 the next time I see you. It's great. It's great. Oh, that's a good question from Miles Johnson. Go ahead and put that on the screen.
Oh, boy. Nikias, can we have an apology to Ja? I guess my question is, what did I do exactly?
What didn't you do? This man, in the words of Perk, 41 piece with 10 biscuits. Oh, and Memphis is 7-2 against the top 6 teams in the West when Ja plays, including wins over the top 3. So there goes that, pal.
Impressive. Good stuff. Good stuff from Ja Morant and the Grizzlies.
Outside that apology's not coming.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out what to apologize for exactly. Just for not having him on the team yet, or
mocking me for putting Ja on the All-Star team.
I didn't. Don't lie to these people. They can listen to the episode. I didn't mock you at all.
The slander was heavy. Come on now.
There was no slander. The only point that I made, you said that you were torn between Ja and Dame, and you said the Grizzlies were the 4 seed, and you gave them the nod. And all I said was, basically said Ja was not available for the run that put them at 4. And the Grizzlies had a record under 500 in the games he had played to that point. That is all I said.
But they got the best wins with him on the floor, baby.
You should have brought that up on the pod.
Take that for data.
Don't go Fizdale on me. Shout out to Fizdale calling Ja Morant a superstar before the game, and then Ja goes out and drops 41.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, put that on the screen. I don't have the power to put things on the screen.
So we got the slanderous heavy 41-piece wing dinner for you, Nikias. Putting DeJounte over him, the jail sentence worthy. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, yes. Okay. We got one from Chip. Given how impactful he's been this season, do you see any contenders trading for Udonis Haslem? This is what we're on tonight now. A Ja apology for some slander that was not existed and a Udonis Haslem question. All this following a Jamal Crawford conversation after we talk about Rajon Rondo. I've gotten the Mario Chalmers segment and nothing else. And we've been here for 15 minutes. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to be honest.
Welcome to the dunker spot, baby.
This is I don't like this. This is why we just have to record on Zoom. I don't like the playing field right now. This is to answer the question, no. I do not see a contender trading for Udonis Haslem. I don't see Udonis Haslem being traded ever. Matter of fact, we did a roundtable for basketballnews.com before the season, and one of the questions were who's the most untouchable player in the league? And my answer was Udonis Haslem, because that man isn't going anywhere until he wants to. LeBron's changed teams. Kevin Durant has changed teams. Udonis Haslem, I think he's the longest tenured guy on one team in the league, if I'm not mistaken. If that's not untouchable, I don't know what is.
Some would say he's already on a contender.
That's also true. We got more unique questions coming in. 3 minutes left in the Eastern Conference Finals. Your only other big just sprained his ankle. Who do you want to put in? Udonis Haslem or Michael Beasley? I don't love this question. Because a unique wait. Because now I'm getting caught up by the DJ Wilson comment in the chat. We're gonna get to it. But I'd probably go Bees. Just what you look so disappointed.
Now we have to find the comparison where Nikias would actually pick Udonis Haslem. I don't know if it's possible, folks.
Is this going to become the parlor game for the stream tonight? Who's the player I would take UD over? I do, in all seriousness, I do want to give UD some credit. He has looked fine in his most recent minutes. Is that fair to say?
That's as good as we're getting. It's fine. Go ahead and give us the DJ Wilson praise. I know you've been waiting.
Bro, DJ Wilson is one of the worst players ever started, guys. He is flat out bad. I don't believe that. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Being the basketball sicko I am, what was it, Cleveland that beat Toronto earlier this week, 144-99? Did not watch that game live. I was okay, that's once I saw who was in the lineup, or more importantly, who wasn't in the lineup. I was like, okay, cool. That's all right. That's not a game I'm going to invest some time into. And then I checked the box score, and I was like, wait, when did DJ Wilson sign a deal with the Raptors? Let me see what he did. And I think he had, 15, 4-4 or something of the sort. And I'm just like, oh, not only is DJ Wilson on the roster, like he actually did things. So watch, like he has a step back jumper, he has a face up jumper, gets 4 steals. I think 3 of those are at the bottom of a 2-3 zone that Toronto was running. I was like, I still believe a forward with some mobility, a little bit of ball skills, can shoot a little bit, give him some run. Like when he was in Milwaukee, I was like, hey, I understand Ersan Ilyasova is cool, but you have this young guy you just drafted. Like, give him some burn during the regular season, see what he can do. Ersan got minutes over him. Nikola Mirotic gets traded there. He gets minutes over him and proceeds to be awful in the post. Like, it was a whole thing. But that is my DJ Wilson spiel. I do not agree that he's one of the worst players ever. That is very disrespectful to DJ Wilson. Put some respect on his name.
So, one, we found the origin story of your dislike for veteran bigs. I totally get everything now. It's like a scene in one of those movies where you understand how the villain became the villain. I get it now.
Okay.
Secondly, who do you believe in more, or how long are you going to believe or hold the belief in? KZ Okpala or DJ Wilson?
Oh, this is a terrible question. Some more propaganda for DJ Wilson. But anyway, KZ or DJ Wilson? Probably DJ, honestly. At least I can envision what he could do on both ends. Like, I feel better about KZ on defense, obviously. Like, he can legit defend different types of players and stuff. Miami using him at the 5 is interesting to me. I still have no idea what he does on offense consistently. I know DJ can shoot to a degree, and the ball skill is kind of a bonus for him. Like, KZ just doesn't know what he wants to do on offense yet. Oh, this is terrible. Okay. Start one, bench one, cut one. Udonis Haslem, Thon Maker, and Dragan Bender. That's a deep cut. I also believe in Bender, and he just was not good for the most part.
I'm cutting Bender.
Okay.
I'm benching Thon Maker, and I'm starting UD.
Okay. What happened to Thon? Like, he just completely fell off the planet. Like, I feel like by default I have to start UD because he's the one that's actually in the league. Though, never mind. So I guess UD would get the start. Start UD, bench Bender, cut Thon.
Okay, all right. It's a lot of Bender love. I like these questions, though. Throw some more up there.
This is going to be some good stuff. All right, can we get some Wes Matthews love? His minutes have been more than I could have even imagined for. The options for us to slide into various lineups between Grayson, Dante, Patton, West, and even someone like Rodney Hood or Jordan Wharf feels almost overwhelming. It's funny, like the Bucks kind of went from, hey, I'm not sure if we have wing depth, to holy crap, we have a bunch of wing and guard depth.
I'll charge you $10 for taking my take.
I mean, we just went over this. Like, it's fine. I just want to steal your thunder a little bit. Do you have Wes Matthews thoughts?
Well, no, I thought it was a nice addition when they added him. I was like, that's cool. They can throw him in the mix if they need him, see what they got. I didn't know he'd be this quickly. Like, rotation minutes, small ball unit helper, hitting threes, the bow and arrows going up sky high. It's fun to see him play. And again, like we talked about, it helps that small lineup depth, that versatility. So now you got multiple options. You can do multiple things. If you need Wes to try and defend a certain guy because you want to save Giannis or play him at the 5, then it can work. It makes you more switchable, lets you space the floor. So I like what he's brought to the table. And now you don't have to depend as much on Rodney or Nora. Not that they can't get it done, but you're in a better position when they're more of a luxury than when they are the pieces to the lineup.
Right.
Like, we know Dante and Pat are going to be in there. Hood, Nora can give you situational minutes, or if they're hot, they can get it going. but Wes is kind of like that glue. So again, you got a multitude of options to lean on with the small lineups. That's been fun for the Bucks.
It's funny, like with Wes specifically, we kind of came in like, all right, PJ Tucker's gone. Who's going to be the Tucker replacement? Is it going to be Shemi Ojale? Is it going to be someone else that stands up? And like the answer might just be Wes Matthews is the backup forward that Milwaukee can throw in their small ball lineup. So it's a nice story. Like I'm glad that Wes is back. I'm glad that he's playing relatively well in his minutes. Here's a fun one since we're on the start bench cut wave. Start bench cut: De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Haliburton, and Jamal Morant.
I already know where you're going with this one. I already know who you're cutting. So I'll just go first.
Okay.
This is a tough one. This is a good question. I'm starting Ja.
Okay.
It's unfair, but a great position to make you choose between the two Kings guards. So for the sake of the show.
Not you making a business decision.
Nah, I'm going to bench De'Aaron Fox and I'll cut Tyrese.
Okay. Well, for the sake of the show, I'm going to start Jamal Morant. I am going to bench Tyrese Haliburton, and I'm going to cut De'Aaron Fox.
There's an L in that question, no matter how you do it. It's well framed. It's a great trap. Really showed at the level, had your hands up high, couldn't turn the corner.
I'll allow it.
That's a good question from Austin.
That's a good question. From Austin, are the Celtics or Hawks in a worse spot right now?
What's the bit? Yes. I didn't execute it very well. Bad shot. I guess I would probably say the Hawks right now. For me, it's the Hawks. They are a lifeless defensive team right now.
I was about to say, I saw you've been threading some of their games, and you did not seem enthralled with their defense.
So I believe it was Zach Lowe who talked about the transition defense. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then that's why I started to watch them play against Chicago twice. And just the defense in general. There's no physicality. There's no attack mindset. There's slippage. Capella isn't the anchor. There's everyone likes to say, hey, we want to make our defense, make the offense feel us. No one's touching people. There's no ball pressure. There's no screen navigation. There's no help. I watched a play where Zach LaVine just jogged to the corner, came off a stagger. No one got screened. He didn't get touched, and he still got an open look. Like, they just have so many lifeless possessions, and that's a huge problem before we even talk about the offensive issues that we've talked about before. So, yes, the Celtics are shooting 4 for 42, and yes, they have 2 star players who may get in each other's way, and yes, their roster is probably unbalanced, doesn't have enough shooting or playmaking or lineup versatility. But I'll take that base over whatever is going on with Atlanta if they're going to play defense like this.
Okay, so here's I guess it's going to end up being on brand. Like, here's my defense of Atlanta, right? Oh, brother.
Everyone thought he was gone, but he's grown. Let's give a hand to Atlanta's very own.
Oh, brother. But, like, I guess my defense, like, you're 100% right. Like, the transition defense has been bad. The defense in those 2 games against Chicago have been bad. Like, the defense itself has just not been very good this season. And so, like, there's only so much bail you can shoot. However, we're looking at like 12 of their 15 players that came into the season, like, not being available right now. Like, there's not having continuity, and then there's whatever the heck has been happening in Atlanta for like the last month. And like, everyone's been hit with COVID to a degree. And so it's not exclusive to them, but it has been especially egregious in Atlanta. And so, like, Capella's been in and out of the lineup. He started the season slow, got on track. He was out of the lineup, came back into the lineup. That's been a whole thing. The offense can't really find it. Like, they lose Trey. Bogdan Bogdanovic has been playing a little bit hobbled with the ankle. Like, it's been Like, I feel like the Celtics are in a worse spot because in theory they have more answers available to them right now and they can't seem to get it together. Atlanta just doesn't have the bodies right now, I don't feel like.
That's fair. This stream must be sponsored. It's a lot of bail money that you just shot there.
Here we go. This is what we're on.
I need you to answer Regina's question.
Oh God. Let's see where this comment is. Okay. Who's going on your all-star ballot, Fred or Darius? Like in the all-star episode, like I think I had Fred as a reserve guard, and I think I had Darius as my first wild card, if I remember correctly. So like if it comes down to those two, like I'm gonna take Fred. I do think he's growing offensively. And the defense, there is still a gap between those two. Like I think he's been better this season. But, per the last episode, like I do think both of them should make the team. So I just want to make that clear. But if I had to choose one, I'm taking Fred.
I still have Drew over both of them, but I'm old and musty, so it's totally fine. I totally understand. What, power rankings? I need the button. How do I get the button? I don't get the password of the button.
You should be able to access if you can see the comments, you should be able to scroll and click.
It just does the thing where it highlights it, and then I look old. It looks like I'm copying and pasting. I don't like it.
Fair enough. We got some good ones coming in here. Let me.
These questions are good because I know Nakai's had a take on Draymond that was going to destroy this stream, buddy.
I have a take on Draymond. Yeah, let's go back to that because we were just talking about Atlanta missing folks. What I don't understand is less a Draymond thing and more of an NBA thing. Help me understand, like, you have to have 8 available players for a game to not be postponed. Of those 8, like 4 of them have to be like regular roster players. I don't understand why, like, a team like, Golden State's had to scramble before. Toronto's had to scramble to get players in. Chicago's had to scramble to get players in. To the point to where, again, like, they literally had the state complaint, like, hey, why are we playing games right now? But, like, they've had to scramble. And then, I think we're going back a couple weeks, like, the Nets had an outbreak, and they just didn't sign a replacement player and got a game postponed. And I'm just like, okay, is this mandatory or not?
Well,
because of it,
that Nets thing was a little different. If you look at the timing of when those games were postponed, it was in the lead up to a certain game. Continue.
Yeah. Okay, that's a fair rebuttal. But that's kind of what I don't understand about this. If you dip under 8 because players in protocol /hurt, are you required to sign replacement players up until that 8? Or is it recommended that you sign up to 8 so your game doesn't get postponed? I need clarity on that. If it's the latter, then I can understand teams being like, all right, cool, we want to keep some sort of momentum. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can get an eye on someone. Maybe we bring them in later, whatever. Or if it's like, all right, now we got too many bodies. We just need some time to get this situated.
I think the goal is to get the people, but I think it's a logistical nightmare. Because you also, if you sign X, Y, and Z, and X and Y also have to go into protocols, then you've done yourself nothing, and the game gets postponed anyways. So I think it's heavily encouraged to try and get those replacement players there, but that's a quick turnaround, especially as you're finding out how far your outbreak went. And in Denver's case, if you're also injured, the math just starts mathing at a certain point. I think that's when the league is like, all right, man, we got to go. Like once the math hits a certain threshold, like even with Miami, like Miami was good to go the next game, but they couldn't get it together for that one. So it's like, all right, man, we'll see you in a couple of days.
Yeah, so that's just the one I don't get. Like I just need clear language on that just so I know how to react, because I don't want to be like, hey, this doesn't seem fair, XYZ, if it's not a requirement to do so. Like that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't know. I just don't like it. Let me go back to this question, because this popped in towards the beginning of the chat and I just didn't get to it yet. I think this is a fun one. Top 5 rookie defenders of your lifetime. We got Tim Duncan listed. Evan Mobley's made the list. Do you agree that Evan Mobley is one of the 5 best rookie defenders you've seen?
I mean, that's a loaded question. I'm a little bit older than you. Is Tim Duncan in your lifetime?
Is this this is what wrong? That is incredible. That's honestly incredible. Yes, Tim Duncan is in my lifetime.
I don't know if I can go there with Mobley. I'm going to do some quick research while you discuss.
Is Tim? I can't believe you asked me if Tim Duncan was part of my lifetime. Let me pull up some all rookie teams. While we're going to do some research together. Actually, I'm going to pull this up.
Live research. So I've got Gary Payton.
Okay. Well, I wasn't going to get that one. That's fine.
I've got 2. Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay.
We got 3. Now, this is specific to their rookie year, because then that's going to complicate it.
Yes.
I feel confident with my 3 still.
Okay.
Live clicking.
Hey, man, I want to pull up the team just to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Like, this is the thing about doing it live versus getting these questions emailed. Because they were emailed, I'd have some time to be like, okay, let's look and see. It just kind of pops up. So now I'm like, oh, wait. What do we have here?
KG and Sheed, I'm sure one of them doesn't count. Marcus Camby, maybe. No, I'm not. I'm going to take Mobley out of my top 5.
Okay. See, I feel like I'm probably more likely to have Mobley in mind just because, like I was alive for Rookie Duncan. Like, I didn't watch Rookie Duncan to know how good the defense was outside of the reputation.
Joel Prisbilla.
Oh, goodness.
About to send me down a rabbit hole.
See, this is why we this is why we do this, you know. Shout out to dunkers out there.
Dwight Howard, does he make the list?
I don't feel like he should. Like, well, here's a name from the 99-2000 team. Ron Artest made the all-rookie second team that year. Like,
yep.
I feel like that would be, but was he even then? Like, was he better than Evan Mobley's been ridiculous as a rookie defender? I will say that. I don't think ballpark. Like, I don't think it's egregious to have him in the top 5.
Ever, yeah, I'm gonna throw him out of ever.
Well, ever. I mean, the question is of my lifetime.
In my lifetime, yeah.
So I mean, if that goes back to like, I mean, fair enough. Like, for me, like, my lifetime starts at 94, so he probably makes my top 5.
Oh yeah, you didn't even see Tim Duncan.
Okay.
You never even saw the Trailblazer run. Man, you missed out. Funny. You didn't even see Magic Johnson.
Okay. Is this what Ron? I don't like it. Oh, here's a good question from earlier. Genuinely, why is DeAndre Ayton? Well, he has the full question in a later comment. Here we go. Why is Ayton considered better than Rajon Holmes, other than the fact he plays for a good team?
This seems like a Nikias question, to be honest with you. Okay. I think, for me, Ayton is a better defender, and I like the post options a little bit more. I might lean Holmes as a roller in general. I could give you that one. But the total package, I'd probably lean Ayton. It's probably closer than perception would let it be. I think so. I like the question, but I give the nod to Ayton. I think he's probably a mix of youth, size, a little bit more size, rim protection, potentially.
That's kind of where I was going. I think defensively, I think Ayton's better. He's certainly sturdier inside to me. As much as I'm annoyed at how much Rajon Holmes has been asked to switch over the last couple of years, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. But like, as much as that could be annoying, like, he does have utility as a switch guy. Ayton does too, but like if you want to give Holmes the edge there as a switch big, like I'm not gonna be mad at you. So I see that. As far as like the intermediate scoring, like the push shot from Rajon Holmes, like that is efficient. I do think Ayton brings a little bit more force at the rim. I think the size helps. I think Ayton's better, but I'm with you. Like, I don't think they're in like two totally different classes of players, and they shouldn't be viewed as such. So I think that's where the whole Ayton's on a contender and Rajon Holmes thing isn't. I think that's where it can kind of skew the conversation. I still think Ayton's better, but I don't think there's a massive gap between the two. If that helps. Oh, this is an interesting one from Joe. Rank these healthy contender worst starters. Kevon Looney, Nick Claxton, Jay Crowder, Royce O'Neal, and Grayson Allen.
Ooh, this is fun. I'll remove the word worst just to be nice.
Fifth starter.
Last, I'll go first. I'll go Grayson at the bottom.
Okay.
Then I will go with Royce O'Neal.
Okay.
I will go then with Kevon Looney. Nick Claxton, I'll put Jay Crowder number 1.
All right. I am also going to go Grayson Allen at 5. I'm going to go Allen at 5. Looney 4, Crowder 3, Claxton 2, O'Neal 1.
You put Royce O'Neal 1. You've been slandering this man's defense for like 2 years.
I have not been slandering Royce O'Neal's defense. What I have said consistently is that Royce O'Neal is a good defender, but I don't love the fact that he is the best defender on a contender. That's what I've said.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Not about to set me up with Royce. You're trying to get the Utah folks on me, on top of the Memphis folks, on top of everyone else. Like we're not doing that on this pod. Oh goodness. Oh, we have a Spurs question all the way from Hong Kong. All right. What are your thoughts on the Spurs right now? They have been top 5 in offensive rating since the Celtics win. Do you think they can sustain a league average offense?
Yes, I do, actually. I've been higher on the offense. It's been better than I thought it would be. They have the ball movement. They have the execution. It's a little shaky shooting-wise and playmaking-wise, but if DeJounte and Derek White are going to have these kinds of runs and moments, you can sustain a little bit more. So now you kind of have a mix and match, get some transition opportunities. I think they can put some work in there. My concern with them is the defense and the fact that if you don't have the shooting, what do you do? If DeJounte and Derek White don't have it going, what do you do? There's just not a lot of margin for error with them. So it kind of puts them in this back and forth situation. But I've liked what the Spurs have done offensively, mixing those handoffs, mixing those rolls. They've got rollers. So they're gonna be annoying to guard.
They can kind of hit you from a little bit everywhere. Like if they're able to play with any sort of pace, like I think they're fine. Because they have guys that can attack closeouts. Like again, like I just talked the last episode about what DeJounte Murray has been able to do. I think he's still kind of miscast as the 1. Like that's not his ideal role, but like he's looked a little bit more comfortable initiating action this year. League average, like I probably lean a little bit below because like I'm just not sure how much I trust the shooting on the roster. Or at the very least, like the shooting they can play, like I think they can take some hits defensively if they play it a lot. So I think a little bit of regression from some of the guys that are hot right now. Also, just trying to figure out like lineup configurations that might drop them a little bit, but it is a fun group with their humming. I'll give them that. We have a Russ question from Nico. That is wild. All right, start 1, cut 1, bench 1. Westbrook shooting, his turnovers, or his off-ball defense?
Well, I'm going to start his shooting.
Okay.
Now, what does cutting do? Like, am I cutting it out of his repertoire? Or?
I guess like it's what you would rather have in a way.
Oh, okay. So then I would say start his shooting, bench his turnovers, and I'll cut his off-ball D.
Okay. Like, I feel like goodness. I guess you kind of have to start the shooting. Which I guess if it's all encompassing, you definitely have to start the shooting. Because, like, at the very least, he's been good from the corners this year. Like, the pull-up jumper just hasn't really been there to the level you want it to be. But, like, corner threes have been there, so cool. I probably bench the off-ball D and cut the turnovers. Especially the live ball ones, because they are just absolutely killer. And it feels like on top of him being a high volume turnover guy, he also turns it over in the most inopportune times. So no real great choice either way. So that's a good question. And while we're on this, start bench cut. Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, and Jeremy Grant.
This is a disgusting one, Jaden. I don't like any of these start bench cuts. This is my least favorite things ever. I will start Mikal Bridges. I will bench Miles Bridges right now. I'll cut Jeremy Grant right now. And I loved Jeremy Grant last year.
Yeah, this year's Jeremy Grant is not. Yeah, I have your exact lineup. I'm starting Mikal. I'm benching Miles, and Jeremy can go. This one's for you, Steve. Are you out on the Blazers?
No.
Well, there you have it, folks. Steve is
get
not
healthy.
on.
Get healthy. Get healthy. Get CJ back. Hopefully, some of this defense start to work out. Dame stays healthy. The one tricky part here with the Blazers, and stick with me.
Okay.
This is not a good stat, but they're 8-14 against teams that are 500 or better. They've only played 12 games against teams that are below 500. So there's going to be a run here shortly. I don't know what it's going to mean, but I still think they've got something cooking. They just lost a lot of home games here recently, which is not good. And the road travels have not been great. But I'm not out yet.
All right. Let's see. This one from Lucas. Is Brandon Ingram better than Jayson Tatum in terms of skill and upside, or am I crazy to think that? I don't think you're crazy to think that. I do disagree. And this is yet another opportunity for us to talk about the under the radar year that Brandon Ingram is having this year. Seems that he's taking steps. Steve has mentioned it before on the pod, like taking steps as a driver. Passing reads are getting a little bit better. You already know what he brings to the table as a pull-up shooter. Nice to see him trying on defense again. That's a positive. So I don't think he's better. Like, I do think with Tatum, like, there's a defensive upside that I don't think Ingram has reached consistently. And even this version of Tatum isn't the version of Tatum we saw the year before last, where he was legit an all defensive team candidate for me. But I do think he's a better defender than Tatum. I do trust the shooting more for Tatum. So, again, I don't think it's egregious. Like, I feel this conversation's happened before. So that I think you're fair to have that opinion. I can't get there. Where are you at, Steve?
You can make an argument for skill, potentially, if you want to talk about Ingram's improvement passing and improvement as far as creating plays, even against a drop defense, getting in the lane, be able to make passes, hold a defender, hit a pop, big. So there's some manipulation there that maybe Tatum hasn't displayed. So I could see an argument there. Upside-wise, I would probably lean more Tatum. I wouldn't say Ingram is maxed out, but he's more in the evolution phase of his game than maybe hitting another level. Like, him being better will take him to another level, but I don't know what's beyond that in a sense. For Tatum, it feels like if he adds one or two things, now he looks completely different. So, yeah, you're not crazy, though. You're here.
Here we go. All right, let's get this one in here. Another start bench cut. Between Cam Reddish, Tyler Herro, and Tyrese Haliburton. You want me to take this one?
I'll start Tyrese. I'll bench Tyler Herro. I'll cut Cam Reddish. The defense has gone backwards in a big way.
Okay. That is also my line, so I will just concur with you. We're on the same page. How about it? Let's see. Are there some questions that we have missed? Oh, we have a center rankum. Bam Adebayo, Rudy Gobert, Miles Turner, and Clint Capella. So before I answer that, let me scroll up and make sure that this is not a defense-specific question. Because if it's a defense-specific question, I have a different answer. If not, then we can roll with this. And I don't see another comment, so I'm just going to assume this is overall.
Interesting. Out of these four, I will go. Ooh, this is tough. Capella 4, Turner 3, Rudy 2, Bam 1.
Okay. I would probably go. I'll say Gobert 1, Bam 2, Turner 3, Capella 4.
All right, I like it.
I love that I have now become like the Rudy apologist on the podcast. This is great.
I guess we'll lean into that. I won't mention that Rudy over helps when his man's in the corner.
Here we go.
Utah has some wings that can't keep the ball in front, so it ends up being drive and kick. We'll see it in the playoffs. Don't worry about it. What's the next question?
Another one from Miles. What does Steve hate more? Russ one pass away, or the Knicks defense?
It's Russ one pass away. It's just a very easy thing to not do. The Knicks defense bothers me, but I have an appreciation for it because I see what they're trying to do, and they're just execution deals. The Russ one pass away thing, it's just happened too many times. Stop doing it, please.
I feel that. This question is for me. Would you trade Jimmy Butler in a first for Zion tomorrow? You know nothing more than you know now. Like the first is in 2037, so I don't know. Florida might be underwater by that time. Who knows? I don't think I would do that. I'm really concerned about Zion's health. And since I know nothing more than I know right now, like I don't think I could do it in good conscience. In a vacuum, like, yeah, I'd probably do it because I do think the top of the East is Milwaukee, Brooklyn. And like Miami has a dark horse chance, but I don't think they're in that class. And so I would be like, okay, cool. Let's go Zion and Bam for the next 10 years. I guess Zion, Bam, and Tyler Herro for the next 10 years or whatever and see what you can get out of that. But I just don't have – I have no reason to have faith in Zion's health right now. So I can't do that.
Can't go for that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable about it. Let's get a few more before we close this out. What do you make of Miles Bridges? Do you think he's a guy you want as an offensive number 2 guy or maybe a 1B guy on offense? Does it mostly come down to what you make of the jumper? Do you want to take this one or you want me to go first?
I think you would want him more as a 3 if possible. Not that he doesn't have the skill set or the ability to be a number 2 or 1B. But I think he really jumps off and pops if he's your third best scorer. Because the one thing with the Hornets is, as good as he's been this year, and I'm not saying that he hasn't had opportunities late in games, I've seen him have the opportunity, but it never feels like they lean on him in that way. It's some version of LaMelo, Gordon, and Rozier. So for me, it's more, I would want him to be my number 3 and allow him to kind of showcase that versatility a little bit more. Because the one thing you don't want to have happen is you want him to be aggressive, but you don't want it to be forced. So I think as he ascends, you would want to just kind of let him grow into that role, see if he can consistently be that, and maybe give you what Julius Randle gave you last year, but without having to carry that much of a load.
Okay. I'm with you. Like, I want him to be a third. We've talked about him in the pod before. Like, the passing flashes that I've seen from him, like from the second half of last year and early this year, like that makes me believe there's something more there. And the fact that he's been flirting with 20 points a game this year, like that's no small feat. Like the self creation has gotten better. To answer the other question, like I do think a lot of it comes down to the jumper. Because of the jump, I think he's down to 31-ish% from three now after starting the season off blazing. I think it does come down to the jumper, honestly, because like I think there are enough passing flashes there to where like if he's able to draw two consistently, that he'll beat guys. And obviously, if he's working with a playmaking like he does with LaMelo, if you send two to LaMelo, like he can make the short roll reads for you. So like that combination can work. The jumper, I think, opens him up more as a self-creator. Like if you have to play him tighter, he can get his body until you can get downhill. If you have to run him off the line, he's going to get downhill, and he's one of the best dunkers in the league. So like if that stabilizes, then I could see him being a number two. Now, if you're talking about a number two on like a title contender, like I think the number one has to be really freaking good for Miles Bridges to be your number two. But just a number two for a playoff team, I could see it if the jumper stabilizes. Let's see this one for Woody. What do you value more when saying who's the better scorer? Efficiency, shot quality, or shot variety?
Shot making. No, but
Boo.
What do I value more? I would probably say shot variety. Can you get a multitude of different types of shots? Efficiency is important, but give me the shot variety. Shot quality. Shot quality is a tough one. You obviously want the best shots possible, but the best scorers can make the toughest shots generally. So that's not make or break for me. I'd rather you be able to get it in a few different ways than the other two.
Okay. I was going to go with efficiency, but I think you made a strong case for shot variety. Particularly late in games and in playoff situations, if you're going to see more switching defense anyway, you have to be able to get your own and get clean looks off. So I think being able to get in a multitude of spots is most important. If I had to rank them, probably be variety, efficiency, and quality. I think we my three.
I was really hoping we would get some Nikai analytics there.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna lie to you, folks.
Fair enough. Let's close it out with this one. I think this is a question near and dear to your heart. What are the top three pick and roll snakers in the league?
Oh my gosh. Oh man. The ones who actually do it well?
Yes. The ones that do it well.
Let's go James Harden, Trae Young, Luka. Answer the next question. Yeah, snakes. Trying to get me on a rampage here with these guards who come off a screen and snake and hold and go nowhere and the play's dead. What's the next one? Come on, where am I?
Wow. All right. Well, one, I can't believe you didn't list Chris Paul in the Snakers list. That is unbelievable that he got snubbed on that. Chris Paul is number one on the list. Let's come on.
What? Who?
Wow. Yeah, it's about that time. Power rank these pick and roll ball handlers: James Harden, Chris Paul, Trae Young, and Luka Doncic.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Pure
ball handling, huh? I'm gonna go Luka 4.
Okay.
Trae 3. James Harden 2, Chris Paul 1.
All right. Now Chris Paul gets the respect from you. That's cool.
It's very close.
All right. This is good.
And side note, while he thinks about it, dunkers, someone come up with a banger to close this thing out. And if you're a true dunker, you know what type of banger we're looking for here.
Yeah, we're gonna gonna get a good one. I am going to go Luka 4. I think Luka 4.
Question got you stressed.
Yeah, like Luka 4 is the only one I feel confident in, and like even then, it's freaking Luka, so like it's not even disrespect. Luka. Oh man, a true dunker indeed. Anyway, Luka 4. I'll go Harden 3, CP3 2, Trey 1.
Would you put Trey over Chris Paul?
Trey can get to the rim. That's going to be the deciding factor for me right now.
Okay, all right.
What he asks is Rui Hachimura the next Giannis?
I don't know how to answer that.
I do. Thank you for listening to this. Oh, good. We had a pop side question here. This is great. Pop side Derek character for the Lakers' 15th man on 10-day.
Derek character.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good question that just popped up. Go ahead and throw it on the screen, big guy. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Have we ever seen the Kais and Kendrick Perkins in the same room? I have been in the same building as Kendrick Perkins before. I walked past Kendrick Perkins 2 years ago at Summer League. I was in the tunnel and he was like walking by. Like we didn't speak or anything. So I guess we have been in the same place at the same time before.
Okay. Now, also, just want to quickly point out before we close this thing out, you did mention you are the resident Rudy Gobert apologist on this podcast, correct?
Here we go.
Yes.
I feel like I know where this is going, but go ahead.
Go ahead and put future Hall of Famer on the screen. Looks like 1:33 p.m. Kendrick Perkins tweeted out his Western Conference All-Star starters featuring LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and Rudy Gobert. How do I drop this mic safely?
My rebuttal would be that I did not have Rudy Gobert as a starter on my Western Conference All-Star team. So, not the same. Top reserve in the front court, but not a starter. You know, we had Draymond in the starting lineup.
Yeah, but you guys both have beards.
You know what? You got it. You got it. We'll close it out with this one. If you are a coach, would you rather end your possession with a shot from the dunker spot or a corner three? If so, why not call the pod the corner three?
Well, because one, how would I address you fans? shout out to all the spot ups out there. Like, I don't know. That wouldn't work out as well. Give me the shot from the dunker spot. It's a layup. That means we've done something good.
High efficiency look, you know. This is what we strive for here. Yes, it's Giannis the next Rui. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, we could go. Oh, that's a deep cut. Thank you for watching and listening to this episode of The Dunker Spot. If you have not already, please subscribe to us. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us. You can find me on Twitter at Nikias NBA. You can find Steve on Twitter at SteveJones20. And with that, we will catch y'all in the new year. Thank you for rocking with us.
James Harden has speed again.